Up okay? It's kind of okay.
Yeah. I didn't touch any of the gain dials, so.
Okay, I'm recording.
So, if you were Paul Atreides in Dune, what would you do in this
Oh,
situation?
trees and Dune. What would I do? I'd say
What would you do in this situation?
welcome back to the Backseat Critics. My name's RJ.
Yeah, it is.
It is official.
And my name's Andrew,
The symbol known as Andrew.
the artist formerly known as Andrew. Today we're talking about 1984's Dune, directed by David Lynch, starring Kyle Maclachlan, Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's basically about it.
There's other people in there that you see, and you're like, this guy's from this guy's from that, this person's from this, but that's about it.
Yeah, just a lot of people. Sting was in it.
Sting, yeah, that's the other big name. You see some names or see some people, and you're like, that guy's probably from this thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Not like a lot of big namers though, Even Kyle Kyle MacLachlan? Is that his name?
Yeah, Kyle Maclachlan.
Yeah, he's not even a big name. I mean, I had to look at it and be like, oh yeah, that dude's the bad guy from Flintstones. He tried to shoot my homie John Goodman, aka Fred Flintstone, in the movie.
Hold up.
Hold up. What are we looking at? Talk to me.
Hold up.
What are you looking up?
I was wrong.
Oh.
It is not. I don't know how I missed this.
Oh, okay.
That was not Bill Murray's brother, Brian Doyle. That was Jack Nance.
I don't know who Jack Nance is.
He's the lead actor in Eraserhead.
Okay, I've never seen that movie either.
That is a fever dream. It's a movie worth watching if you enjoy movies.
I think this podcast is a fever dream worth listening to if you enjoy movies.
Apparently older. He looks a little Brian Doyle-y.
Yeah, a little bit.
And in this movie with the makeup, he looked a little Brian Doyle-y. Anyways, we're talking Dune.
Dunezers. 1984s. Not
And
the 2021.
no. And I'm gonna cover next week's 1 minute summary.
Are you? Wow. I didn't know you were doing that. How kind of you to be able to do that for me.
And
So you want me to cover this one?
yeah.
Okay. Well, you let me know when it starts.
Go.
So we got the homie Paul. And Paul is born into this royal family. And there's a bunch of gingers out there that are trying to take over the universe that Paul lives in. And they storm his castle. And they go, no. And then Paul uses this magical voice to lead, or uses this magical voice to save him and his mom in this magical ship. And takes him into this desert planet or desert area. And inside this desert area, he rounds up the troops to capture sandworms and take down the government in a big old sword fight battle in the end with guns that have no gun effect. And at the end, he becomes the chosen one and brings rain and peace to the planet of Dune. Yeah. That's my summary.
That's a okay. Okay.
I feel like I hit that summary right on the head.
Can we do something a little bit different here?
Okay, what's the difference?
Okay. So,
What's wrong with my homie Paul?
no, nothing's wrong with your homie Paul.
Paul Wall? They call him Paul Wall in this movie.
I'm going to do a 1 minute summary,
Oh, you want to do it now?
but not of the movie,
Not of of my summary?
of the book.
Oh, of the book. Okay, hit it with the book.
Don't glare at me like that.
You know what?
Don't glare at me.
Go.
Oh, we're doing it right now.
Yeah.
All right. So there's an emperor, and he rules over the universe. And to connect the universe, there's these
Gingers.
there's not the gingers. There's these worm guys that allow space travel, and the king, the emperor, basically rules over the houses and decides who gets to rule over this plot of land called Arrakis. And originally it was the Harkonnen, the gingers, but now he's like, you know what? They're getting too cozy there. Let's swap it up. I don't want people getting cozy because they're going to question my power. So he puts in the Trey's house. The Trey's house comes in. The gingers get mad. Don't look at like that. Don't look like that.
Look at what?
The gingers get mad. They do a sneak attack. They come in. The Trey's Paul and his mom go make friends with the desert people, and then they use sandworms and attack.
And your time's up.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, you got a minute in. You took a minute summary, and you didn't finish. You didn't finish.
That's the first time That's the first time I've ever not finished.
You did not finish.
How
does it feel to not finish a 1 minute summary inside the Backseat Critics?
I feel a little blue.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I feel like you weren't able to complete the task.
Feel like I wasn't quite able to edge out to.
You weren't up to the task.
I wasn't able to perform to my full capabilities.
Well, I feel like Paul in this movie.
I can't believe I took that long.
You took a full minute.
Where did you see the minute hand?
I was watching at this clock that I could finally see because there's a light in there going on right now.
I feel like next week you're going to have trouble finding that second hand.
There's a possibility if that light's off in there.
I feel like next week you're going to have trouble finding that hand, but okay.
No. I
Okay.
think I'm going to be just fine. I was able to locate it, went right at the 55, waited, boom. You're getting to the groove. You got excited.
Yeah, I nerd out about Dune.
Yeah.
I like Dune. Not this movie, but
Not this one.
not this movie, but the book.
What about the newer movie?
I really enjoyed the newer one.
Okay. The 2021.
Yeah.
Is that when it came out? 2021?
I think it was 2020.
2020. One of the two.
Yeah. I think it was like a summer release of 2020, like right after COVID hit, because it was supposed to be a big theatrical release, and then they couldn't
because of the COVIDs.
Because of the COVIDs. But we're talking Dune. We're talking sandworms. If you could replace the sandworms with any Muppet, who would you go for?
They just come out of the sand.
They just come right up out of the sand
with a Muppet.
A giant Muppet.
No. When we say Muppet, like strictly from the Muppets.
Muppets, and I'm including Sesame Street.
And Sesame Street. Okay, that's a little different.
Yeah. Just those two. No Ninja Turtles. No Dark Crystal.
So if we're gonna do that,
no Labyrinth.
Oscar the Grouch has a little worm on top of his trash can.
Little trash can. You're doing that little worm?
Yeah. He's a nice guy, unlike Oscar. What are you replacing him with? Cookie Monster?
Bert. That cone-shaped head, perfect for like gliding through. Bro, don't even look at me like that.
I'm just Bert. We have so many other people that we could choose from, but we choose Bert.
That cone-shaped head is perfect for like soaring through the sand.
Bert.
He comes up out and he's like, "Ma."
Bert.
Ma.
I hope you do realize that Ernie is the best between Bert and Ernie.
Well, I know Ernie is the best. I'm just saying
he makes
for piercing through the sand. I'm looking at Bert. Look at that cone-shaped head.
What about like Grover?
Grover's cool, but he's got too much fur. It's gonna be a mess with the sand.
What about Beaker?
His mouth is shaped weird.
Rizzo.
Rizzo's cool.
Pepe.
No
Pepe. But Bert.
I'm talking Bert.
Big Bird.
I legitimately thought about Big Bird, but I feel like that beak is going to be a problem.
Cookie, you don't think that beak could help him cut through the sand?
No! He's got like a duck bill.
He has a pointed bill. How is that a duck bill?
Oh, so he's looking straight ahead, beak forward, and his big plateaued face is going to be facing towards the sand. That's not going to be a big stop for him.
But
Bert is looking down, and that head is just pushing on forward. All that sand is spreading around that.
What about Cookie Monster?
A Cookie Monster would be a good monster, but I feel like he's too hairy.
But Bert.
Bert's got a little tuft of hair on his head. That's it. And I think a unibrow.
Okay. Bert is your guy for this.
Bert, I'm riding into battle.
Right into battle. At least I picked a worm.
Bert, I'm riding into battle.
You're riding into battle on top of Bert.
And Bert's like, "Mah." You know, I feel like that's going to become a thing on our next episode. You slapping your head.
Bert.
And you know what? I'm right on top of Bert. I've got my hooks in him, probably like ear to ear.
You got hooks inside of Bert. Are these like nipple hooks? Is that what you're using on Bert?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I'm riding down on Bert. I'm the Muad'Dib.
The Muad'Dib on Bert.
I'm Muad'Dibing on Bert. I'm riding on Bert. I'm riding on Bert. Okay? Hear me out. I'm riding on Bert.
I'm hearing you out. So this is very disturbing.
Bert comes soaring out of the sand, and he's like, "Hey, Ernie." Mah.
You don't think that they could have?
And he's like doing this. He's doing this kind of like dolphin swim thing in the sand, and then I'm riding on top of him. My clamps on him, and I take out of my pocket. I'm finding the heart canon. I pull out a cat.
Oh, you're taking a page out of my book now.
Chicago.
You pulled not Chicago.
And you know what? Bert needs a substance. He needs a little snack.
Whoa. Hold the phone here. First of all, you have creatures.
He is exhausting himself riding through all that sand. And you know what? I gotta feed Bert. So you know what? I'm taking Chicago, taking old Chicago, and I'm spiking him.
You are a monster. You should be the sandworm at this point.
Now we're talking Muppets.
And what's the difference?
Yeah. Come back to me when your worm is an actual threat to my Bert. My Bert is going to do your taxes, and he's going to do them wrong.
I don't even think Bert leaves his
You're going to
room.
get audited by the IRS because of my Bert sandworm. My Bert worm.
There's so many other Muppets you can choose from.
And that is why Bert is the best.
Not the aliens that go whoop, 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 whoop.
No.
But Bert.
Bert?
You are over there with your donut pretzel, wiping Clorox.
Why you gotta bring up the Clorox wipes?
And
Thought we were past that.
you're not past that, I guess. You enjoy that Bert life. I'm so disturbed.
I don't like Bert, but I feel like
But he's your sandworm.
if I'm gonna be riding on a Muppet, cutting through all that sand, I'm going Bert. Just looking at the shape, he's like a torpedo. You lay him down, it's a torpedo. Yeah, where do you want to dive in on this fever dream of a movie?
So, I've seen the new Dune. I've seen this Dune. What do you think made the directors go with the path of having a voice like this as a power? I think they do it better in the newer one, obviously.
Yeah.
In this one, they kind of tried to do like a Batman impression of a sort.
I'm the Batman.
That's what it kind of sounds like.
Yeah.
Like they try to.
It's really not imposing when the like 8-year-old girl does it. Kind of a weird thing to do.
Yeah.
I do feel like the newer ones nailed it better.
It has like a boom. They add more bass to it, like a normal. Like you could tell it's more sound effecty. This one, they just told the actors do the best raspy, dark, deep voices.
Which is weird because they obviously have like noise processing, sound processing, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So like, why not lean into that to make it more of a weird kind of mind trick kind of vibe than whatever they did.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of bad in this one. I think
What do you think of the shields
terrible,
versus the new one?
absolutely trash.
You didn't like the blocks?
Yeah, straight like blocks that you could tell that they try to cut out. make
That
it a
was
little
hand
clearer.
done.
And it was trash. I could have done that in first grade.
So I think for the time it's kind of cool, but given age and also kind of given the time, it's kind of trash.
I think they could have done it back then better. I think they could have done
I
it a lot
agree.
better. I mean, at least try to.
1 year prior, we saw Emperor, was it Palpatine, use lightning on Luke, and that lightning wraps around Luke's body pretty well. But we can't even get like a force field.
Yeah, you think they could have at least done a wrap around the body with the same effect?
We don't even need like a full, because they were like blurring out the action too.
Yeah.
Like during the training scene, like we can't even tell what's going on.
Or even when the dude gets shot, he gets like it soaks through, and all we know is that then like you see his like blocks fall, and all you know is he's dead at that point.
Yeah. Oh, Duncan.
Yeah, that's all
Yeah.
you see is like a bullet gets shot at him, and all you see like it's kind of
It's just bloody.
through,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you see him like fall, and you're like, thanks for doing that. I think it's kind of funny that too, like when they killed somebody, they, like see them make a movement, and you don't see like the person actually get stabbed or slashed or anything.
There was a lack of laser beams in here. It's like they blew the budget everywhere else, and they are like, "Oh, crap,
They used
we need
it
laser beams."
at the end. At the end battle, I did notice that there was some laser beam shots.
There were some laser beams,
but
but
when there was like the storming of the building,
like right off the bat, yeah, like the first half of the movie.
you're like the middle ish, or not the mid, probably the first third.
Yeah,
First third, that they storm the building, or the palace. I should say, and they were making like gun effects or the sound effects, but they weren't.
pew pew pew.
There's nothing you saw that was shot
They
out.
conveniently like throughout the movie, even because even during the training scene when Paul's training the Freeman, and he's like, "Hey, attack the obelisk." They stand so the obelisk is between them and the camera, so you can't see the firing of the gun.
Yeah,
Um,
I wonder what the like.
which is a weird choice to make.
I feel like a laser shot is pretty cheap.
I do too. I do too.
I mean, Star Wars uses a galore of them, and that was a pretty low budget movie.
You want to talk about low budget? Let's look at Star Trek.
And
Star Trek uses them.
They use laser beams all the time too.
Let's back up even further.
Mom and Dad Save the World. They have curvy laser beams.
They do have curvy laser beams, but Flash Gordon
Laser beams.
laser beams. So where this movie gets off with no laser beams, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Kinda-
I feel like it was probably a.
I feel like that was a director's choice.
He let me down there.
There's a lot he let me down on here.
Well, I mean, trying to cram so much information into a movie.
Would you think about like the
3 hours.
inner dialogue that kept coming up?
In some places, I thought it was okay.
Okay.
I was like, okay, that's kind of cool, like to have that going on. In other places, you're like, well, no, duh, Sherlock. Like I could see what's going on.
Wow,
there.
the sandstorm's gonna give the air patrols disadvantage over us.
Yeah, like it's like no, duh. Like we could read the room. Like we don't need that. But in other times, it was like, okay. I feel that.
This movie had like a weird fear of silence. I feel like it was a constant onslaught of dialogue, and there's very, very few moments where there was no dialogue.
Well, I think they didn't know what to do with the scenery in this. Like how to sell the scenery more, and I think that's why they made the dialogue, because they couldn't sell the scenery.
But like some of the set pieces don't look bad.
I mean, how expensive is it to go film in a desert?
It depends where. Lawrence of Arabia did it 30 years before this and did a fantastic job.
It can't be
Or
that expensive.
20 years before this and did a fantastic job.
It can't be that expensive.
No, and we saw Star Wars do it on a pretty low budget.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And again, like some of the set pieces, some of the matte painting and miniatures were pretty good in this. We just didn't give it time.
Yeah.
We just... Here's the castle. Okay, scene. And then scene. And then scene.
And that
and
castle
then
is
scene.
pretty weak.
Oh, like breaking in?
No, just the...
Oh, just the visual?
Yeah, the visual of it was pretty weak. It looked like just like a square.
There was more up on top of the hill.
I saw that, but it still just didn't... It didn't get me.
Really?
No. I was like, meh.
I didn't mind it.
Could have been better.
I didn't mind it. I didn't feel like it needed to be anything grandiose.
No, but, you know.
It needed to be functional. For something in the desert, I think it's fine.
Could have been better.
It didn't bother me. The weird force field around the
It didn't
fortress
go all the way up.
didn't go all the way up.
It maybe like doubled the size of the wall at most.
Also, it was really hard to read because they kept cutting to a shot of just the force field, nothing else, just the force field being shot at. I think that was one of the few times it actually showed the lasers.
A little bit, yeah.
It's just wild. The sandworms.
Yes, your birds.
My birds. I thought they looked pretty good. For the time.
For the time, yes. I think if I'm going to look at a sandworm, though.
I know Beetlejuice did it better, but that came out after.
Yeah, that's what I want to see is the Beetlejuice. I want to see the Beetlejuice sandworms.
Yeah. I feel like these could have been done better, but I didn't have a problem with these. They did have a problem showing scale, and some of that's using a slightly wide-angle lens.
Well, I like at one point...
Which makes them look very small. Beetlejuice handles that better, but like... Yeah, you never really get like a real sense of their scale.
Well, I think you do at one point because you see them being walked on at one point. But it's kind of funny because you could tell that it was just like something that was closer up to the camera and the actors were further away. And you see them walking and you're like... And you don't even see the actors' feet or anything on top of it. And you think that you would. You'd see some bottom of their legs, but you could see that they were cut off somewhere in the mid-shin.
Yeah.
And you're like, come on now.
That's cheap, yeah. But like I mean like the establishing shots where they're like the sandworms are sunbathing basically after Paul drinks like the water of life. You don't really like get a good sense of their scale. They're there in the background, but you don't really you don't really see how big they are.
They don't seem that big at that time.
They seem like 10 feet tall.
Yeah, not huge. But then
20 feet tall. Like, they don't seem that big.
When Paul gets on to ride one, though, you can say...
You can really see it then, yeah. But for like 84, I don't think it's bad.
I think it's funny that they have that ship that's shooting down at the sandworms kind of at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I know I'm bouncing around, but they have the ship.
I mean, the movie bounced around too, so
we're gonna bounce around.
We want to bounce.
But the ship was
bounce like Bert,
shooting down at them, and then there's the sand, like they're on top of the sandworms, like shooting back at the ship and stuff. I was just like, if I'm on this ship, that ship should be taking down that sandworm like with ease.
Yeah, there's a bit where Patrick Stewart's character,
Okay, wait. Let's just say that Patrick Stewart has a mullet in this movie. Let's point that out.
The last half of the movie, yeah,
he's rocking a mullet,
which is good.
He's bald up top, mullet in the back.
He's Oh man, what's that wrestler?
Hulk Hogan.
Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, he's Hulk Hogan in it. There's a point where he and Paul meet up
Yep. In the middle of a battlefield.
in the middle of a battlefield.
And he's like, "Oh, I can't believe it."
And they're
Nice.
they're using these like little miniature toaster ovens to like shoot.
With like a nozzle coming out of it.
Yeah, and they shoot up like one shot at a spaceship, and the spaceship blows up. What?
Yeah.
Like why isn't everyone using this?
It's like the
They're shooting in the middle of a crowd of people, and the whole crowd is blowing up.
it's like the cricket in
Oh,
Men
the
in
noisy
Black.
cricket in Men in Black.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what they got with toaster. It's the that's it. The Lego my ego gun.
Is this a weird choice? Yeah. What you got?
They made lots of weird choices in this movie.
Like what?
Well, first of all, the actors.
Who would you pick?
Who am I pick
Yeah, who would you pick?
to put in this movie
Yeah.
to make it better?
Like 3 actors.
3 actors to make it better.
I'll let you do 3 actors.
3 actors, and then just to make it okay. I think I'm gonna use.
Ba-da-dun-dun-dun.
Oh yeah, we're gonna take a.
I'm loving it.
Yeah, I gotta think for a second here.
Ba-da-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
I think I'm gonna use Kermit the
Dun-dun-dun.
Frog.
What?
That's the main character. Use Fozzie the Bear.
As the Prince of Harkonnen?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Miss Piggy as Kermit's the Love.
Okay, are we doing Muppets?
Yeah. Just turned it into a Muppet Dune. What you got for that?
We're doing Muppet Dune?
I guess so. I mean, you started it with what Muppet are we?
All right. Folks, hear me out on this. Paul,
Giamatti.
I'm replacing. Are we just doing like Muppet?
Yeah, Muppet.
Muppet? All right.
Muppet.
All right. Paul, I'm replacing my man, Donatello.
No, that's not the Muppets. I say Muppets. You ask me Muppets. I go Muppets. Donatello is not part of the
Duncan?
Muppets.
Duncan? I'm going Splinter.
Oh my goodness. No. No.
The Harkonnen? All of the Harkonnen. Raphael.
You have failed me.
The Emperor?
Uh,
Leonardo.
Actually, if I'm gonna go into
Michelangelo? Love interest.
if I'm gonna go into it, I'm actually gonna say Michael Keaton as Paul's dad
Okay.
would be my first go at it. For Paul himself, I'm gonna loop it back around to Corey Feldman at that time period. And for the villain, let's go with Dusty Rhodes, the wrestler.
Okay.
Rest in peace, Dusty Rhodes. But that is who
The Harkonnen or the Emperor?
the Harkonnen.
Okay.
The Harkonnen. So Dusty Rhodes is the Emperor. And I think that's what I'm going to roll with.
Okay.
I know it's kind of a wild group, but I think
We're doing any time period or that time period?
I kind of went towards that time period.
Okay. I'll be fair. I'll do that time period.
And then just kind of off the cuff.
I'll do that time period.
Otherwise, I probably wouldn't pick Corey Feldman. Yeah, it's a hard one.
That is.
You know, I'd say also I would maybe like Fred Savage as Paul.
Interesting.
That's probably actually going to be my pick. I'm going to take out Corey Feldman. I'm going to put in Fred Savage.
Fred Savage.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good pick. 84. Well, first off, I'm doing Kurt Russell as Duncan.
Okay.
We got a lack of Duncan in this movie. I feel like having a heavy-hitting actor that can chew up the scenery like Kurt Russell in that role, I think that would help.
Well, Jason Momoa does it well in the next
In the new one?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a really tough one.
It's kind of hard, isn't it, for this one, because of how bad it is. And you need 3 actors to save a movie. This movie, that's hard.
Kyle Maclachlan, I think I'm keeping.
Oh, really?
My mind keeps going to Keanu Reeves. He's going to be too young. I don't think he's going to bring anything new.
Keanu might be a good pick, actually.
I really don't see him bringing anything new that Kyle didn't.
I might go Keanu. That's a good pick.
I'm going to go Christopher Lee for the Emperor.
That's a good pick.
I
was trying to rack my brain for his that actor.
That actor.
So I was trying to for exactly that role, and I couldn't rack any names for him. So I was like, I'm just gonna have to move on because he put me on the spot a little bit.
This is a tough one. This is a tough one. And I'm actually going to go. Oh man, what is his name?
Pauly Shore is the name you are looking for.
No, it is not the name I'm looking for.
Pauly Shore.
What is his name? He does the splits.
Oh, Brendan Fraser.
No, martial arts guy.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Thank you. As replace Sting. Replace him with Jean-Claude.
I don't know if I would do that.
Really?
I
don't think Sting really. He brought the crazy eyes and crazy hair. I felt like that was it. I feel like Jean-Claude would bring a more interesting fight scene.
He brought a little bit of craziness to the movie. Maybe a better fight scene, sure, but I like having that crazy character that just comes out in his underpants. His silver underpants, just in the middle of the movie there.
And, I've been pretty open about this, but, David Lynch is one of my favorite directors.
But not in this movie.
No, absolutely not. If you could replace this director with any director, any time period, who are you going with?
Any director, any time period. Wes Anderson.
So I was actually going to give it a legitimate response, and then you beat me.
Wes Anderson. Well, how's that not legitimate? I wanted
that. Okay, honestly, I would be down for Wes Anderson style, like Dune.
His little animations and stuff that he does too with
this
movie,
that would be so funny.
Those animals have weird animations, and I can see those weird animations for the sandworms. I'd like to see that type of animation for that.
All right, that's legitimately good response.
Yeah.
I hate you.
Because Wes Anderson, you laugh at me because you're like, "Oh, RJ's being funny," but no,
that's
I
legitimately
put a little bit of thought into this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was gonna go the easier route, say Peter Jackson.
Yeah, that's pretty easy.
Yeah.
A little saddened by that, aren't you?
Yeah.
Crap, RJ actually had a good one off the cuff.
I mean, the only follow-up I have is Edgar Wright, but I don't know how he'd handle large scenes.
Who's that guy that does a lot of explosions?
Oh, Michael Bay?
Michael Bay.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
That's what I want the Transformers to come. Optimus Prime.
And
the sandworms.
Hey, we know how he'd handle the voice.
I'm Optimus Prime.
Give me your candy.
And all of a sudden there's going to be explosions. The sandworms shoot bombs and missiles outside of them.
Every time there's lightning in this, there's just explosions in his.
Mm-hmm. I'm going Michael. No, I'm going Wes Anderson though. So.
Yeah. Would you fight to your death over a desert planet that gives you the ability to travel space? Well, that gives you a resource that gives you the ability to travel space.
That's what the spice does, right?
Basically,
If I caught that, it gives you that ability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why? I mean, if your loved ones are on it, yeah.
Okay.
Why not ride or die? Roll that planet.
Okay.
Roll that planet. And all of a sudden, you have the power. You gain powers from this planet. I know that's not what it says or
It's not guaranteed.
not given to you, but
You get some insights.
people on this planet
Get
have
some blue eyes.
powers. You get blue eyes. You get the ability to cause it to rain.
It's Crayola blue.
Crayola blue. You got the power to make rain. You got the power to mind control people. You got
Well, the mind
worms.
control thing was just that was just Paul and his mom.
Paul Wall.
Paul Wall.
Paul Wall. You got some people that know how to take it down in a knife fight.
You got Bert.
You got Berts.
You got Bert being fed some cats.
And that's what I mean. I would do it. Would you?
Yeah.
And I can hop around to where I want to.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound like a bad deal to me.
No.
I'll hop right up to you while you're riding your Bert and slice your throat. Save the Chicago.
You know what? Never mind. I'm gonna back right off this now that I know my life's in danger.
Yep.
Why you hopping up with my Bert?
I'm saving Chicago.
Stay on your Arnold.
Listen, I need to get Chicago so I can save him for the death race between you and I. He's part of that mechanic there. Or when you're trying to steal my treasure in the Goonies. Future episode. Charlotte Cannon attacking. You got this.
Yeah, stay tuned for that episode. It's the one episode I have a better plan than RJ here.
You're not winning. You can't take the Chicago. He's my go-to trap.
Nah, he's food.
Mm-mm.
He's food.
Yeah, that's a cut and a half. Future RJ right here.
Future Andrew. Don't cut. That's gold.
Where are we at? What was that time? Oh, shoot.
37.
Oh, gosh. We got more time. So, why are all the bad guys gingers?
Well, because when you look at real life...
All I saw... There goes all of our Irish listeners.
She did the thing. She did the thing, but it wasn't picked up.
There goes all of the Irish listeners. But why...
Do you want to come over and do it on mic?
Why do all...
Oh, we're getting it. We're getting it. Oh, that was a good one. That was a good thud.
Why are all the bad guys gingers, though?
That's like hitting a tree.
And to make it worse, most of the bad guys have...
You ever slap a tree with your hand?
No. Why would I do that?
You ever just like go up to a tree, just slap it?
No.
Be like, look at this tree. Like, what a pack inside of it, all that.
Are you trying to say that you abuse trees?
No, Your Honor. I do not abuse trees.
You just admitted to slapping them. Do you give them a spank? Do you go across?
I give them trees some loving.
Do you cross their personal bubble?
I give those trees some love, and I hate that you bring that up.
You cross into their personal bubble.
I'm giving those trees some loving.
With your Clorox wipes?
Why are you bringing that up again?
Might as well give them some apology grapes, alright? But what I really want to know in this movie is why do all the bad guys have some sort of like disease?
Why not? Why not? You know? Why don't bad guys have diseases? Maybe they're from a planet that is riddled with diseases, and they rely more on the natural resource that they're harvesting, and they rely more on on space travel to get the medicine that they need to treat those diseases. So when that ability to manage the planet, to produce those natural resources is stolen from them, they become mad and they want to fight back to make sure that they can preserve their ability to travel space freely and treat those the diseases that they have.
But couldn't you just like point out the bad guy saying, "Oh, you have red hair and you have a disease. You must be bad in this whole movie."
Also, easy way to spot out a villain.
Basically, like they have some sort of facial.
They have these like football-sized cysts on their face.
Yeah, around their mouths, on their heads. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
I kept waiting for one to pop.
Can you imagine?
He was like, there was a doctor like sucking them out with a little like needle.
Didn't they have them like on their nipples too? And...
No, those were like feeding tubes.
Oh.
Yeah. You don't have those?
No, I don't.
You didn't get that update yet?
No.
Okay. That's a 2.0. Yeah.
Okay, after that meta update.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Got it. And then you have that other guy running around betraying people up there.
Yeah.
You just looked like a villain, period. Like, people in this movie are stupid. Like, I could look at someone and be like, you are a villain. I can sense it.
Everyone, even the dad, who wasn't a villain, looked like a villain.
Yeah, everybody was sus.
Kyle Maclachlan looked fine. He had some mischievous.
His hair made me think, villain.
Evil salesman. Like,
yeah.
he's a guy that would try to rip off Fred Flintstone.
Yeah, he's trying to give me a car I don't want.
Yeah.
About 1998 Toyota Corolla that's missing.
Corolla.
Yeah. That's what I would think. Well,
Corolla's the best car for street racing, right?
I mean, let's ask our good friend Vin Diesel.
Who?
Oh, Dominic Toretto.
Who?
Dom.
Who?
Family.
Who?
You?
Who?
Me?
Who?
Car racing.
Oh. All right, what's your final thoughts on this?
This movie was meh. There's no excitement for it. I mean, really, I think I just more watched it and saw bits where I was like, what is this? Why are we watching this? And we're watching this because the new Dune's coming out. That's why we're watching it.
Hopefully a better Dune.
But this whole time I was like, meh, the way it wrapped up was stupid. Would I let my kid watch this movie? No. What's the age on this movie? There's no age because it's stupid.
I was going to say, what? If I had a loved one, wouldn't even let them watch it.
No, we're not watching this one. We'll watch the new one.
Yeah.
We won't watch this one. What would I grade this? I'd give it a 1. A big fat 1. There's some points where I was like, okay, this might be the turning point where this gets bad. Nope. I was lied to. There was no scenery to save it. There was no like amazing soundtrack.
Dude, I told you.
This was a good old
garbage
fest.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Like, it's not even like bad, like entertaining, bad, good. Like it's just
bad.
Boring.
I think if you caught
it's boring, which is the worst type of bad movie.
100%. If you caught our whole review, all we did was just dog on it through this episode.
Yeah.
So that's obviously a bad sign.
I'm going to be honest. My review is exactly the same as yours. I'm going to give it a lower grade. It is a 0.
We can do zeros.
We can do zeros.
I said 1. I'm going to stick to my 1.
I'm giving this a 0.
Flat 0.
Flat 0. David Lynch could do better. The cast could have done better, but also maybe they're just doing what they did with what they had. The whole movie should have been better. And even if it was bad, it should have been like entertaining. And it wasn't.
Give me Stargate.
Yes! Stargate, the movie. I don't even like the Stargate movie, to be honest. And that's so much better.
Give me The Last Starfighter.
Last Starfighter, 100% better. 100% better.
There's so many.
Galaxy Quest, sure.
Well, I'm not even going to go into like the Fifth Element or anything.
Flash Gordon.
They're going to be better.
Fifth Element, obviously, yeah. Like, this is just a snooze fest. It is just ad nauseum dialogue and just rapid fire scenes with no substance. You don't really get attached to the characters.
No.
Because all they are, it's a Christopher Nolan movie. The characters are just vessels for exposition. That's it. There's no actual character to get attached to or fearful for their like
Nobody
what's
you're
going to
cheering
happen.
for.
Yeah.
Nobody you're rooting for. There's
It's stuff happening. And it's not even entertaining. It's just stuff, and that stuff is still being explained to you.
And it's rapid, quick.
Because there's no respect given to the audience as viewers to piece stuff together on our own, which is really insulting.
It's a bad movie. So I would say just skip this one altogether.
Yeah.
Don't even show it to your kids because it's not worth your time. It's not worth their time.
No.
You could watch so many better movies with your kid.
If you really, really want to, watch some clips on YouTube. Take like 2 minutes.
Just watch the new one.
Yeah.
If you need a Dune fix, watch the new one.
If you're curious about this one, is what I'm saying. What there's like 2 minutes of clips you could watch on YouTube.
Let me save.
Watch that.
Let me just save this. Save them the time. Let's just say this.
Don't.
Yeah. Don't even touch it with a 10-foot pole.
It's hot garbage.
Move on.
Yeah. And speaking of moving on, check out our podcast. You can find us anywhere where you find podcasts. That includes places that you find podcasts. You can find us at the Backseat Critics or on Instagram at the Backseat Critics. And I know I said the Backseat Critics without any kind of context as to what that is.
It's us.
It's us. Search us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever. I think even Pandora. Wherever you listen to podcasts. If you have feedback that you want to give, if you got hate mail that you want to send, be sure to send it to us on Instagram. That is lookhere.playnogames. I think that's it. I think we covered our bases. That's it. Are we done?
Oh, we out.
We're done.
Get me off this episode.